If you've still got your dart out, you won't need to open it, but I closed mine, so I need to get mine. And it's in Louise, and I want my bodice front. And I need to change my paths again, and I'm letting you watch because it's a good review. Edit, customize paths, changing from Cinderella to Louise, apply, save, and we're in metric again. So user environment, Imperial, 3, save. Alright, so we're back to 1-inch squares. We're in Imperial, and it's automatically going to save in Louise. I'm bringing that down again, and I have my little diamond dart, so I'm going to modify lines, combine, clockwise, select the lines to merge, choose 1, 2, and selection to continue, so say OK. And I'm going to save that. There we go. Alright, so we don't have to do that every time. So I'm back to the one with the dart in the armhole. I want you to choose 2 different places to rotate it to turn in, so you'll have 2 more. You'll have the one in the shoulder that we did together up here, and then you'll have 2 of your choice, and it works the same way every time. The part that people usually get confused with, it's in advanced, manipulate, select the dart to rotate. I can choose either of them, but I'm going to choose this one again. Don't forget to read the screen. Choose your rotation point. Your hold line should be the center front. Your new opening point can be where you want it to be. Now it wants you to choose the internal lines to move and end selection to continue. Remember, you have to say OK, and then set your dart tip down, and then cancel, and file, save as. This time I'm going to say front neck dart. You can make the titles as long as you want, but I abbreviate them. Okay, so this one's front neck dart. I'm going to cancel, right click on it, and say piece to menu. That will not work saying piece to menu unless this is canceled and the screen is empty. So I'll bring this back down. So you'll need to have 2 more up there of your choosing on that single dart rotation, and this time I'm going to go to the same place, Advanced Darts, Manipulate. This time I'm going to combine them on different lines. So choose Combine Different Lines, select the dart to combine. I want to combine this line. Select the rotation point location. There's my bus point. My hold line is the center front again, and my target dart is the waist dart. Do we want any internal lines to move? No, so I say OK, and there's the dart. If I put the dart tip down all the way to the bus point will disappear, and we really don't want the dart to go to the bus point. Oh, it disappeared anyway. So I'm going to undo that and go back to Advanced Manipulate. combine different lines. Select the line to combine, the rotation point location, choose that carefully right on the X. The hold line is the center front, the target dart. No internal line, so say OK. Alright, so if I go ahead and set that down there, then I'll know where my bus point is. And I can add it easily. Or I can take note that this is where my bus point is, and I could set it down an inch away or an inch and a half away, and that would be fine. So before I set it down, I want to think about what I'm going to do with it. If I'm going to just turn it into a dart, then I can just put it right here where it is. But maybe I want to use it as a single darted sloper, and if I do that, I'll just set it down right here. So I'm going to go ahead and set it down an inch and a half away and say OK, and I want my bus point back, or if I wanted my bus point back, I should say, then I would just line this up where it is, and I can freehand it and have it in a pretty decent spot. You want to zoom all the way in and make sure that it's in the right place. I've been doing this for a long time, and I just watch for the lines to merge and disappear under each other. But there's a better way to do that. So on this one, where you've combined the darts into one, I want you to put your bus point back just so that I know you can do it. So this time we're going to line the pieces up exactly, and we're going to go into Modify, Piece Action, Set Rotate. That's Modify, Piece, Set Rotate. Not just rotate, but set rotate. So I'm going to choose a match point on the target piece that I want this one to line up with. And my match point, I'm going to choose the very end of that line. And do you see how that yellow box has appeared? And if I move away from it, the yellow box disappears. I want the yellow box there because then it's exactly on the corner. So I made sure the yellow box appeared, and then I'm choosing the match line on the target piece. So I need to choose one or the other of these that's touching that. And then I have to choose those same 2 points on the piece that's moving. So I got the corner, it highlighted in yellow, and then I'm just going to touch that line again. And this is wanting to rotate, so what I'm going to do is just come over and push cancel, and then it sets down exactly where it is. So that was push cancel. Okay, so if you need to, you can just review that. There's a slight difference here. We'll get into that later. It has to do with that point, but it's not enough. I mean, it's less than a 32nd of an inch different. But I want to now copy a point. So, but this is technically, I believe that is a line. So I'm going to go into Create, Line, Copy. A drill hole is kind of special, so you want to hover over the pieces, and do you see how the one that's got the single dart with no bus point is highlighted? And now when I move the mouse over here, I don't want to touch down, I'm just moving between the two pieces without pushing the button. When I've highlighted the piece that has the bus point on it, I'm going to touch down, but I'm not going to release. So I touch with my left finger, and I'm touching, and I slide over, and that line highlighted. And then I release. Oh, but I forgot to cancel out of where I was, so I'm going to cancel. So I have to do that over. Can't create, line, copy. So the piece that I want is highlighted. It's not highlighted, now it's highlighted. I'm going to touch down inside the piece and hold down on the left button. It highlights, and then I release, and I've got the line. And then I'm going to say OK because I only want that one. The piece that's going to receive the line is the other one with the single dart, so I touch that. Then select the, oh, I did, but I have to end selection to continue, so I'm going to say OK. And now I've got that. Can you see that little green under my mouse? I've copied it, and it's there, but it's floating, and I don't want to set it in the wrong place, so I'm going to say cancel again, and then I'm going to say OK, and now I have my bus point on both pieces. So practice that. And while I've got both of these down here, well, I don't really want to change that piece, so I'm not going to save this one, but I'll show you. So I'm going to make them both smaller so they both fit on the screen, and you can do this when you've got them all done or one at a time. But what we're going to do is fold the dart closed so that we have, I don't want seam allowance on the darts, I want the dart to have a flap, and remember the darts fold down and toward the center. So to put that dart flap on my dart, I'm going to come over to Advanced, Darts, Fold. No. I'm looking for Fold Closed Dart End. Is it just in Modify? Oh, I don't want to redo this video. We're just going to have to find it. And you'll just get to enjoy the fact that I sometimes have to look for things too. That is so weird. It's been a long time since I did this. I might just have to cut the middle out of the video. Oh, well, I was in the right place in the first place. Advanced, Darts, Fold. And then select the dart on the side to fold to. Before you do that, make sure you check the box for include fold lines and include notches, or it's going to completely disappear and you won't know where to sew it when it gets to that point. So select the dart on the side to fold to. That means you're going to select the down side of this dart, and it magically closed, and the inside of that dart, and the inside of that dart. So now you know where to sew them, and if I zoom in, you will find that there is a notch there, right where it belongs. Okay, I don't think I'm ready to add seams today. We could add seams on one of them. I'm going to undo so that one isn't affected, and move it out of the way, and then I'm going to do that again. Advanced, Darts, Fold. Select the dart on the side to fold to. It's going toward the center front, and there it is. So I'm going to say OK, and I'm going to save it. Oh, and my menu didn't appear that I wanted, so I have to say OK to get out of that or cancel. And now I'm going to say piece to menu, but I'm going to change it to combined waist dart. Please make sure your name is on them. So you'd want to do that to this one too eventually. And now that I've saved them to the menu, because they're already in the menu, I can get them down anytime I want. So I can actually go over to modify, delete all the pieces, and it will just take them off the table. If I did that before I saved them into the menu up here, then they would be gone forever, but they're still there. This does do autosave, so sometimes if you lose pieces, you can go back to the latest one and click on it and they will come up on the screen. So if you click the mouse too much and confuse the computer, sometimes it will shut down on you and you'll lose your pieces. So be patient with it. But you can go into autosave. Sometimes autosave is here and sometimes it will just come up on the side. Also, you can click on this little box down here. I don't have any pieces on the menu, so I'm going to bring this one back down. So my current pieces, it says that that's what it is. So if I had multiple pieces on the table and I needed to isolate one, I could turn that on and choose, and it would automatically always choose the one that was isolated. And then I would say clear all. Okay. So make sure all of those are saved. They should be where you have your pathway going. So if you ever lose your pieces, and students do that all the time, they'll lose their pieces. They'll come in and say, I can't find my piece. And usually what I do is open their computer and go into paths, and I'll look at where it says it went, and it's usually just right there. And it's a matter of forgetting where you sent it most of the time. So if you lose your pieces, you can also go into paths and see where they automatically save to if you remembered to save them. Did I save this one? I don't remember if I saved it. So because I don't remember if I saved any of the three of them, well, I did save that one, didn't I? But I'm going to go into File, Save, choose the pieces to save, and I can just save them all and say OK. So I can be confident that they went on their path where they belong. Now I've changed my menu a little bit so I can delete all the pieces at once. I'm going to end the video now, but when we come back I'm going to have this one back out and we'll add seam allowance to it.